Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Good morning, distinguished viewers across the world. This is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television, the TGIF edition, the last one for this week. Thank you for sticking with us all week. We are very grateful, knowing fully well that you're always there, being part of our program. And this program is entirely for you. It's designed towards having smooth conversation, sometimes very difficult one, about issues of public importance. That's what we do here every weekday at this time, analyzing, critiquing policies, of government, and of course issues arising, matters arising that has to do with you, Nigerians and people living within the country, sometimes beyond the shores of our nation as well. FEMI Ojo is my name. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you today on Morning Spring on your television channel of choice, Western Spring Television, where we say it as it is on Star Times, channel 190, DTT, and of course on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. Thank you for being here. Today promises to be very, very exciting, and of course it's the one that you don't want to miss at all. On the program, we first look at the headlines, the major stories, headlines found on our major dailies, of course, and I won't be doing that alone. Today being the weekend, starter edition, we are going to, by the way, the AFCON starts this weekend. The African Cup of Nations, a biennial continental football competition organized by the Confederation of African Football, starts tomorrow. Of course, your darling Super Eagles will be representing Nigeria. So the flag of Nigeria will be hoisted right there in Cote d'Ivoire. We look at that as well. And we start from the education point, especially here in Osun State. You understand that it's a bumper package for you today. And of course, you don't want to go anywhere. I'll go on this break. When I come back, business will continue. Please stay with us. All right, the headline is next. But before that, this week has been a very big week, talking about legal pronouncement, especially stemming from the general elections we had in 2023, gubernatorial elections. Many cases have been concluded, at least in Adamawa. Governor of Interior has been finally endorsed by the apex court as the duly elected governor. But today, it will be the Supreme Court pronouncement in Lagos State. Maybe many persons are not as anxious as the expectation in Kano. Yeah, the commerce state of Kano, and it's between the incumbent governor right now, Abba Yusuf, popularly called Abba Gida, and his main challenger of the APC, Mr. Gawunan. So the apex court will be making that pronouncement today, along other pronouncements as well. And in fact, the Supreme Court has told every party involved that you only to come to the court with 2 lawyers, maximum of 2 lawyers, because it's going to be a filter. So fingers are crossed, and then we implore people in Kano to please be law-abiding. Politics will come, politics will go. Elections will come and go. There can only be a winner. The Kano people should please, give peace or chance, irrespective of who is pronounced today, because that's the final court, that makes pronouncement. Whatever you are not satisfied with today, as far as our laws are concerned, you can only report it to God or wait for your time at the next election. So for the indigents and for the people living there that are non-indigents, you should please live together as one, and know that just like the former governor said, I mean, former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, to say nobody's ambition is worth the blood of any Nigerian at all. And I think that's a very good place to start with the headlines for today. A couple of headlines. By the way, I won't be doing this alone. Ladeji Alabi is here. Ladeji, good morning.
Good morning to you, Femi. Good morning, Nigerians. It's a pleasure to be on the show again.
Yeah, thank you very much. Here we go. And we'll start from the Punch newspaper for today. The Punch. Union, Polaris, Keystone, CBN plans shareholder summit, compiles a new directors list with a rider, Apex Bank to discuss bank's future with stakeholders, new chairman, EDs to be named soon. And of course, at the center, you have the picture of a protest. Lagos NBA protesters storm police headquarters over brutality against lawyers. You have some flex banners having some inscriptions saying, assault a lawyer and go to jail. Nigeria Bar Association protest march against police brutality and harassment of lawyers carrying out their professional duties. And another one says, Nigeria Bar Association Alta branch. The Alta Bar says no to police harassment of lawyers, molestation of lawyers by the police brutalization of lawyers. Lawyers know they agree again. Okay, this is the season of, no agree for anybody. By the way, the Nigerian police are having issues with that statement, but then the Nigerian army are endorsing it as well. Moving on. Widows of soldiers killed in 1992 plane crash demand compensation. All right, that's 32 years down the line. Netizens mourn as female banker kills self, pens suicide note. You know, it was quite a sad one yesterday when that story broke, especially on the social media, that a particular bank worker committed suicide. Why? We learned she left a suicide note, but then suicide is never an option, no matter how terrible a situation looks. Moving on. TB Joshua made childless couples to exchange spouses. Ex-worker, of course, that's stemming from that release documentary by the BBC. Top strip. Humanitarian Ministry, EFCC, summons 20 directors, others. Tension in Kano as Supreme Court decides Yusuf's fate today. And the last one, foremost industrialist, Okoya clocks 84, advises a federal government on economy. Ladeji, let's start from here. Union, Polaris, Keystone, CBN plans shareholder summit, compiles new directors list. Apex Bank to discuss bank's future with stakeholders, new chairman, EDs to be named soon. Your take?
Well, of all these banks, Femi, Polaris in the last few years has always been in the high of something not too palatable like this. And if you check the press release released by CBN 2 days ago, they said they flouted a couple of laws of the CBN, guidelines, and they needed to take over these banks and sack their MDs and all. I just feel for the best interest.
The boards.
The boards.
Bank boards. Yeah.
I feel for the best interest of running of these banks, CBN should just be as plain as possible. They should just try as much as possible, because I'm saying this because we've had reports from some quarters that also the banks that we are trying to save from whatever some persons of interest have interest in those banks.
Yeah.
So in order for us not to just say because we want to hide under something just to get the boards of some banks gone and bring our own people on board, do the right thing. That's all I would tell CBN.
Yeah, to do the right thing. And the Apex Bank, by the way, I've said to depositors, your money is safe.
Of course,
it's only those bank heads that are being removed. There is no cause for panic. But you know the way we do here in Nigeria. Quickly, this story has refused to go away, and I'm not sure it's going away soon. The TB Joshua story. The documentary made a 3-part documentary released by the BBC, alleging the former leader, the late leader of the SCOAN, by the way, Synagogue Church of All Nations, of different, crimes, by the way. Somebody here saying TB Joshua made childless couples to exchange spouses. That's an allegation again from an ex-worker. Many persons are asking, why now, from the BBC?
Well, yes, I've also asked the question, why now? Why not when he was alive, and allow for the federal government to go into investigations and maybe make him pay if he is truly guilty. Yes. But now he's gone. The highest we can get now is I think by now our security agencies should be working on this report, confirm how true they are.
Yeah.
Because there is no, like I've always mentioned, see, irrespective of who is involved, when people commit a crime and they are investigated and they are found guilty, please let there be a form of punishment. Even the Bible supports it. Hebrew chapter 12 verse 11 says, at the moment discipline doesn't seem pleasant. Yes, it shows there must be discipline. Do you get? So if truly all these things are true, BBC have made their mistake by not releasing it. I think they released the part a couple of years back, but now releasing all these.
While they made a caveat on that series to say those people spoke on that series or that documentary rather, they started speaking, and it was days after that TB Joshua passed. That was a caveat put by the BBC.
But I still feel.
But should the government be involved in this matter?
Of course, yes, because whatever a church, a mosque, a traditional worship center, they are in Nigeria. And, there is a law that governs everybody, irrespective of religious belief. So if you are doing anything that contravenes the law of the land, there is a need for you to be investigated. And if there is a need for you to be, punished, in this case, TB Joshua is gone, whatever the case may be, I know the government will not want to do this, but there would be a need for proper investigation. People are falling for such religious, whatever, over the years. And I can tell you for free, Femi, if another person comes tomorrow and comes with another religious gimmicks, people will still fall for it. But just to serve as a deterrent, let them know government is on top of the situation.
And by the way, those documentary or those allegations might end up to be false as well.
Of course, yes.
That's the need for the investigation.
If the government investigate and they see it is false, why not make it public that, see, these are just, things to tarnish the image of, the late prophet.
In 30 seconds, before we go to the next paper, people are mourning as the news broke that a female banker committed suicide.
I saw the news yesterday. I saw the picture of the young lady. I saw the suicide note. A lot of things was running through my mind. At the time, I want to ask why don't you open up to someone? At the time, as a former banker also, I want to look at the pressure. In fact, when I went to the comment section, somebody said she must be in the marketing department of a bank.
Why? Because of the pressure.
The pressure, Femi. I work in that department in the bank. I can tell you for free, during COVID-19 that people were on lockdown. My bank still asked people to go out there, get millions. In fact, there was a day we were in a meeting from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And what our regional sales manager was saying is that, okay, your branch, go and give me 200 million. I asked my colleague in the office, I said, listen, are we going to get this money from spirits? People have been locked down in their houses. They cannot go out. And you are asking them to bring money. At this rate, what people are thinking is survival. So I want to beg employers at this rate. See, I know you want to make money.
Of course.
But please, reduce the rate. See, personally, Femi, if any worker puts so much pressure on me, I will give you your job. The reality is, this lady died yesterday. The bank she worked for would open yesterday. Even a particular branch would open yesterday.
But in the suicide note, she didn't blame the bank.
I'm not saying she blamed. She said the economy is biting hard. The reality is the economy is biting hard can mean a lot of things. If they give her a target of 5 million naira in a month and she's not able to make it, it is due to economic reality. And note, I'm not blaming the banks. I'm only saying that also employ, because it can come from any angle.
It can
and
come.
Also, as a people, please don't put too much pressure on yourself. See, the reality is, the economic reality of Nigeria is biting on even the employers. It is biting on them.
That's right. That's good to note it. Even the employers as well,
employers are
under
crying
pressure
too. So please, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Family, don't put too much pressure on your children. They are trying their best. If it doesn't work today, it will work tomorrow. Don't. Please, suicide is not an option.
Yeah, and please speak up.
Speak up. Yes.
Anybody feeling not too good about him or herself, please speak up. That's very key. You know, our prayers and thoughts are with her family. Moving on to the Daily Independent. The Daily Independent for today. $800 million blocked funds. We may stop operating into Nigeria. Foreign airlines won. Riders say $61 million payment is a drop in the ocean. Talking about some airlines having issues recovering their funds, by the way. And of course, you have the the governor of Yobe State, Mai Mala Buni, flanked by some men there. And don't be in a hurry to condemn Beta Edu. APC governors say they are still dealing with an allegation. Page 29, that's from the APC governors. And lawyers hold massive protests against police brutality in Lagos. Tinubu gets brief on prospect of $10 billion investment in steel sector. As Chinese firm plans a new steel plant in Nigeria, our target is to get more governors, legislators into APC fold. That's coming from their chairman, Ganduje. And Edo, Shaibu, Ighodalo, Akabwe, others pick governorship form as party rakes in 545 million from 5 aspirants. Okay, I want to believe I'm correct because that figure sounds unbelievable, by the way. Moving on, Guba appeals, tension in Kano, Plateau, 6 other states as Supreme Court gives ruling today. Riders affirms Eno as Akwa Ibom governor. Police deploy armed personnel in Kano. Bottom Street, bandits kill Kasina village head, 2 sons, 6 others. Here we go again. Very sad one there. Ladeji, don't be in a hurry to condemn Beta Edu. APC governors are telling you people that they are still dealing with an allegation, isn't it? Still an allegation.
Well, it's still an allegation. And,
so you people should not judge better.
Yoruba people, there is an adage in Yoruba that will say, the fly will always defend a person with a saw.
Okay.
She is a member of their party, so I'm not expecting them to come out and condemn her, at least as a Nigerian thing. But it's still an allegation.
Yeah.
But some documents proves that there are some things that were done wrong. So the investigation ongoing is to confirm the level of involvement in this.
Okay.
So why they are saying don't be quick to blame her, I will also reply them that don't be quick to make her feel clean. Let the investigation take its course. The president have done the right thing by saying go and sit back.
Yeah.
Let the investigation be done. If the investigation is concluded and she's found not guilty, why not return her to the ministry, do proper monitoring? But it is sad that people that are making excuse. I was on Dr. Joaba's Ando yesterday or 2 days ago on Twitter. He is part of the people that did orientation for the new ministers, and he said all these things we told them during their orientation. So you don't tell me, like the lawyers do say, there is no I don't know in the court, Abi.
Ignorance.
Ignorance is not an excuse. So you won't tell me you don't know. If they organize about 2, 3, 4 days retreat for you guys, okay, this is the way you do, because apparently you are coming into a new system entirely. Yeah. You have been a commissioner in your state or whatever you are in your state.
That's right. She has been a commissioner before.
Of course, yes. Yeah. So you should know. And in case you don't know, they organize retreat for you guys.
For you to know.
To have an idea, for you to know. But I can tell you for free, many of the time, these people don't concentrate. They look at the person teaching them, who is this one? Let me just do whatever.
Is it that they don't concentrate? Or
apparently,
more like that's a routine. That is a way we do.
Femi, If she had concentrated, the project officer that jumped the permanent secretary to come to your desk wouldn't have done that. And if he did that, maybe by crooks
I'm saying, you are making it look like she didn't know, or they didn't know.
No.
Is it because
it's
they
not
didn't
know? It is because
or they choose to do whatever they want to do.
That's actually my point.
Allegedly, by the way.
I'm not alleging now. They choose to do what they want to do. Because if they don't forget, those resource persons, government will pay them too.
That's right.
To come and train them. So it means you've allowed the government to waste money.
All right.
So they did what they wanted to do on their own.
All right. Now we move to the Guardian right now. Vanguard, rather. The Vanguard newspaper. All right. And Edugate. Interesting. Edugate, APC governors, P2B backed Tinubu on probe with a couple of riders. Governors ask Nigerians to be patient. Ladeji, be patient. Says Tinubu will take final decision after investigations. As APC professionals support president's move to send strong signals to government officials, don't spare anybody, P2B tells Tinubu. Moving on, attacks. Governor Alia bars local government chairman from leaving domains. Okay, more or less stay put and see to the welfare of your people. Alleged $6 billion fraud. Ex-Prime Minister Agunloye gets 50 million naira bail. And new bank CEOs will boost confidence. NECA as BFI, that's ASSBIFI, and analyst as well. 32-year-old bank staff commit suicide over harsh economy. And on the 2023 AFCON, another injury scare for Eagles as Umar misses training. First it was Boniface. Now I wonder what's wrong with the Eagles, especially the firepower. Now, Tall Street, 2024 budget, how we settled for 800 naira to dollar exchange rate, federal government. And here, Ladeji, no grief for anybody. Lawyer fought police caution as army adopts slogans to fight insurgents. Interesting one. And Nigeria can't make progress without true federalism. And this is coming from Obongata. Obongata was former governor of Akwa Ibom State. Of course, let's start from there. And I said it passively the other time. The police have come out to say that slang, no grief for anybody, is capable of causing chaos, it's capable of causing disagreement, and, you know, compromising the peace of the society. The police, through the first PRO, have said the people should please discontinue it. That's the slang. But the army, I saw that video yesterday when they said no grief for anybody, and they were talking in the context of no grief for bandits, no grief for criminals this year at all. It was said by the army spokesman himself. Now, lawyers are faulting police caution to say, why is no grief for anybody an issue? Your take on that?
You know, at times when police come out to...
The police said intelligence report revealed to them.
What is the intelligence report that they could not get when people were being killed? What intelligence do you have? They only have intelligence when people want to protest, when people want to show their fundamental human rights, when people want to express themselves. But you will hear bandits have attacked this village. Police will never come out that there is an intelligence. They never have any intelligence when people are being killed. They should go and sit down somewhere.
But as the first PRO said,
let Muiwan, the IGP, let them go and face their job. Let them do the needful. Protect is not the... See, now, I don't understand.
You think that should not be an issue?
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Even if they are intelligence, you don't come out and say there is an intelligence. Pick whoever is trying to disturb the peace.
To forestall war.
When you go and stop, let them come to Kefi and stop whoever is saying don't grieve for anybody. For a start, I wasn't a fan of no grief for anybody. But the day I posted, I said, if you are not grieving for anybody this year, grieve for God, and as a woman, grieve for your husband. Else you will go back to your daddy's house. And if God asks you to do something, you know, as a Christian, and if God asks you to do something that you say you don't want to do, then you are ready to die.
Okay.
Do you get? But when they now came out to say, no, people are trying to push themselves. Okay, if anybody tells you you cannot make it this year, don't grieve for them. I don't know how that will cause chaos in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I don't know how that is more dangerous to Nigeria.
Maybe because you're not a policeman. You don't work with the police, do you?
But the army, are they more intelligent than the army?
The question. They who draw these lines? But the army spokesman said no grief for bandits.
Yes, of course.
So the police go after the army now?
No, let them go. Let them try it. Let them go.
All right.
Now, so the reality is this. The army also want to use that word to push themselves. Say bandits will come and say they want to take over villages. We will not grieve for them.
Yeah,
we will push them back. It's just a pushing word now. Muiwa and IGP, they should know more than all these things. They should not. They should stop playing to the gallery. They should face the job. The job. Lawyers are protesting in Lagos that police are brutalizing them. Police are brutalizing every single youth in Nigeria. And you are telling me the most difficult thing to you now, the most hard thing, the most serious thing you want to face is no grief for anybody. Muiwa Balajobi will no grief for you.
Okay, is Ademuyiwa.
Okay, Ademuyiwa, sorry.
Adejobi. All right. Quickly, renewed hope agenda, talking about The Guardian right now, The Guardian newspaper. After honeymoon, tales of woe, frustration trail Tinubu's policies. After honeymoon, tales of woe, frustration trail Tinubu's policy. And of course, you have the pictorial representation there of burden of financing, political class lifestyle. You could see the weighing balance there where it is tilting. Renovation of residencies, expensive travels, purchase of SUVs, profligate expenditure, corruption. And of course, you see the pictures there, the SUVs, the politicians, waving their hands. And moving on, Dangote refinery to reach full capacity in June. A school demand or by 2 million barrels per day. Female banker commits suicide. Very sad. Schools, banks, others short as Supreme Court decides Kano governor and terrorist kill community head in Katsina. 2024 budget, while we settle for $800 per dollar benchmark minister. Okay, let me just cut it from the latitude. Schools, banks, others short as Supreme Court decides Kano governor. Is it necessary? Does it show that we have evolved, politically speaking?
We have not, Femi. It's a simple, we still go on an election date. We have to shut down all our economy. Don't forget, these elections have been concluded since March 2023. And almost a year later, we are still in the courts. We've not evolved, Femi. That's the reality. We are not growing as a nation. And my own grouse every now and then is that as a leading nation in Africa, with the potential we showed after the independence in 1960, we are not meant to be here. Femi, we are meant to be a leading force in Africa where countries like Egypt, South Africa, Gambia, Tanzania come to learn from us. But we are not showing that leadership in every aspect of our lives. We are not showing it in an electoral and a democratic system. We should, I don't see why, because court want to make a pronouncement. It is because we have so much bastardized our system and nobody cares about what happens again. As a matter of fact, even on election days, ordinary Ghana, I'm sorry to use the word ordinary, but Ghana is a country that used to look up to us. But in Ghana, you can go from your office to go and vote and go back to your office. Here, Femi, on election day in Nigeria, 24 hours, IGP will announce curfew when we are not in a war situation. And not until in fact, many a times, why do we have a lot of voters apathy when election comes? You see 90-something million people came out to register, and by the time elections will come up, less than 40-50% of people come out to vote. Why? Because people are not even sure. What if I go out to vote and somebody attacks me on the way? So I think we need to evolve as a people. It is very, very unnecessary. We close the school, banks, we close banks, we close the economy. So
maybe it's because of the volatile nature of Kano politics.
That's why
some state doesn't do that.
That's why I'm saying we ought to have evolved. The fact that Kano is still a state inside the nation called Nigeria doesn't make them anywhere special. All right. We need a new political orientation, and our politicians also need to do well. When you don't bastardize the system, people will know whatever happens has happened, and that's the decision of the people.
That's the decision of the people, and by the way, Supreme Court holds the ace on this matter. Thank you, Ladeji. The Nations Cup is starting tomorrow, but don't let me start that conversation now. I will have to have you brought back after, at the other part of our conversation. So Please stay put there. Lade Jalabi, you get to have him talk sports with us if time permits towards the end of the program today. And this is where we take a pause. We'll go on this break. When we'll come back, it should be about education and institutions of education in the state. Don't go nowhere.
The Korean War of 1950 to 1953 pitched North and South Korea against each other in response to intrigues by nations beyond their border with different interests from those canvassed by the two brother nations. The Korean War had all the nuances of an external conflict induced by powers that were interested in subjugating North and South Korea. Japan had leveraged on its military power to annex Korea in 1900 and imposed a military union that did not sit well with the citizens. Japan not only lost its war of conquest against Korea, all its powers were obliterated by the effect of the World War II. The end of World War II got Korea divided into two nations along 38th parallel lines by the instrumentality of the United States of America and the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. The Korean War lapsed into a Cold War when it stopped the prying eyes of external forces into the internal affairs of a nation now divided along its north and southern territories. Western Spring Television identifies the Korean War as a major event in history.
Here are 5 amazing fun facts I bet you never knew about Christianity.
Number 1, there are over 2.4 billion Christians worldwide.
Amazing fun fact number 2. The Bible is one of the best-selling books of all time, with more than 100 million copies sold every year.
Most Christians believe in heaven and hell.
The Bible is the most translated book in the world, with more than 3,000 languages.
Amazing fun fact number 5. Most Christians throw science out of the window without realizing that most scientists are Christians. Hello, I am Pastor Steve Akinwumi.
And I am Dr. ATEWEH Oyewole.
Join us as we highlight and discuss day-to-day issues pertaining to the day-to-day living of every Christian.
Issues in Christendom shows every Sunday on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on StarTimes.
COVID-19 is a global crisis. Businesses, cities, even countries were shut down by a disease traced to a wildlife market. We must never let it happen again. In captivity, wild animals are potential sources of disease. To protect our wildlife and our health, say no to illegal bushmeat and report wildlife crime. Keep them wild and keep us safe.
Turn it up! It's the Wild Wild West. And Western Spring Television is pulling out all the stops to make sure that you don't miss out on every of the fun and happenings around you. Yup, we've got you covered because your girl got all the juiciest tidbits and entertainment news from around the world. Cross over to the chocolatey side of entertainment. Join me, Chocolate Cassie, on Eccentric as we take you into every bit of the juiciest news, fashion, music, movie updates, and other trending conversations. Together on the show, we'll get personal with your favorite celebrities via phone call, Zoom, or even live here in the studio. Eccentric will be shown on your TV screen on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Samuel Ladoke Akintola was a frontal figure in the historical moves that birthed an independent Nigeria from colonial Britain. As a freedom activist, he deployed his wits, energy, intellect, and oratory skills to prepare the grounds for constitutional talks that eventually culminated in the country's independence in 1960. The 13th Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land cut his teeth as a politician when he became a foundation member of Action Group, the dominant political party in the Western region, and was elected the party's parliamentary leader of opposition at the Federal House of Representatives. The crisis in the Action Group, which pitched Samuel Ladoke Akintola against his leader, was not only a sore point in his colorful political life, but a reversal of gains which characterized the exemplary leadership of Awolowo Akintola premiership. 23 years after his death, Oyo State University of Technology Ogbomosho was renamed Samuel Ladoke Akintola University of Technology to keep his memory alive. Western Spring Television identifies Samuel Ladoke Akintola as a major character in history.
Evelyn Ohiole,
Hi.
King Eve, how are you today?
I'm good, I'm fine, I'm alive.
I really feel like she's not giving the right answer to the question. When one asks you, how are you, and you said, you're saying, I'm alive. It's very annoying, seriously. How are you? I'm fine. I feel I'm fine would be the right answer instead of I'm alive. Not that I asked you if you're dead before.
Go and check all these 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, everybody, they are extraordinarily sexually active.
I feel is being unnecessarily hyper when it comes to the issue of sex, because we talk about other topics and he feels so reserved. He really doesn't have anything much to say when it comes to other stuff. But when it's the issue of sex, I believe he's being unnecessarily hyper. That's when I have to pick an issue with him. I mean, it's just being unnecessarily there when we're talking about sex. Just like a child, his mom just got him his favorite chocolate or ice cream, very happy, doing as though if he doesn't have sex for a day, he's going to die.
When it comes to finance, women also support their husbands financially. You need me emotionally. You need me spiritually.
Cassie is an amazing person, but I hate the too much attaching to that gender. I need you spiritually, I need you mentally. I can get these things anywhere with money. If you go by the topic was, who does marriage favors the most? I know how many jobless women they marry every Saturday. They are saying it favors you. Are they vague so?
Growing up, when I was in the world, we've heard of
Who are you now?
Well, MC Too Much said, he likes saying when I was in the world. And the last time I checked, well, it looks a bit innocent, facially, but deep down, he's actually out of this world. We're all in the world now. As long as you're alive, you're in the world. So MC Too Much, I beg you to talk about that. I don't want to hear that. Next time you talk about I kiss my voice.
I think I have a problem with you saying ladies are champion, and that's the problem. Always trying to attach so much importance to that gender.
It's giving insecurity, it's giving low self-esteem, it's giving a blatant display of egoism. Because at the end of the day, a man who is secured in his worth, a man who is confident of who he is, will not really be disturbed as to whether women are being referred to as champions or not. I mean, at the end of the day, Joseph's a really great guy, but whether he likes it or not, women are champions.
Up to 75% of human infectious diseases originates in animals. And as more bushmeat is brought into our cities, the risk of human infectious disease outbreaks increases. Ebola, monkeypox, Lassa fever, yellow fever, and even COVID-19 may have been transmitted in this way. Illegal bushmeat trade not only endangers our wildlife, but affects our health and may damage our economy. So please, say no to illegal bushmeat. Keep them wild and keep us safe.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. The conversation this morning, the first leg of it, is about education, and it's really about the Osun State College of Education in the Asian city town of Orangun, a citadel put together to instill knowledge in people, basically concentrating on education. That's the teachers' college, by the way, if you want to put it that way. The people that will teach other people, that's where they are trained in different, lines of, teaching. But then it is not just about that. It's about a leadership issue. There's been these allegations back and forth about the leadership of that institution. As you know, when we talk about headship, it's not something to be toyed with. The provost of the institution having some allegations, around him, allegations against him by the governing council of the school, headed by Dr. Peter Babalola. This is what we are looking into today, and I have my discussant ready in the studio with me, In the studio today, I have Mr. Babatunde Samuel Ajala. He is the Public Relations Officer, PRO, for the school, OSCO, that's Osun State College of Education, Orangun. Good morning, Mr. Ajala.
Yeah, good morning.
Good to have you here.
Yeah,
and of course, he's flanked by Comrade Oyebamiji O. Adewale. He's the representative of the staff union of OSCO Orangun. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Good to have you here. Now, before we continue, I'd like you to see this particular clip, and when we come back from that, the conversation will continue. Let's look at this.
Addressing newsmen at the conference room of the Ministry of Education State Secretariat, the Chairman, Governing Council, Osun State College of Education, Orangun, Elder Peter Babalola, alongside other board members as well as principal officers of the college, announced the suspension of the provost of the school, Professor Jimo Afolabi, and asked him to appear before the Governing Council's investigative panel to clear himself of the various infractions leveled against him.
Management there, headed by Professor Afolabi as the provost, and the outgone bossa, who have been alleged, that's why I will put it, to face a panel. And they were trying to use press ahead of the panel. All we need to do is they should go and face the panel, come back with their response. He has concealed so many things. They don't want the progress for that school, and it cannot be.
Elder Babalola noted that the suspension became imperative to allow for proper investigation into the matter. The Chairman, Governing Council of Osun State College of Education, described as false, malicious, and totally untrue the publication sponsored by the provost, alleging that he misappropriated over 200 million naira. He called on the provost to appear before the investigative panel and clear himself.
The Imale team came to power for a change in Osun, and I believe that is what we are doing there as a board. If they are not ready to go along with the change, the school has been killed. Let him go back and face the panel. Nobody's witch-hunting anybody. The facts are there. If it's okay, fine. If it's not okay, fine. That is it. And just throwing allegation here and there when you are to face panel, it cannot work. It won't work. It won't work. He is the sole signatory to all accounts. He's been assisted by Bossa and one nominee from the bursary. So they're saying they've squandered this, they've squandered that. It wasn't even part of what is being called for. They went into PPP and nothing is being generated.
Elder Babalola maintained that Professor Jimoh Afolabi has questions to answer on allegations bordering on concealment of official documents, award of 130 million naira TED fund accreditation contract without the knowledge of the governing council, non-disclosure of the college income and assets, failure to update the board on activities of the school, among others. Elder Babalola maintained that Osun State government remains unwavering in its commitment to restore the last glory of Osun State College of Education in Orangun, and would not be moved by the antics of detractors.
All right, you're welcome back. That's a report, done by our team here. And let me start from the PRO. Mr. Ajala, those are weighty and very serious allegations there against the provost of your institution, and the governor, by the way, has instituted a probe, to be made into at least one of the figures being bandied around is that 200 million naira. Now, to start with, how did we get here?
Yeah, thank you. The issue is that...
If you can please speak up a bit.
The issue is that, getting to that, according to your question, even though it's a very long story that can still be briefed in this program,
please.
The college has been a college of star, a college of glory in the production of students of NC, and with all the affiliation universities that we have later. And we have been doing so well, and I know that the staff are still doing so well in imparting knowledge. At the time, we have a college council chairman by name Mr. Niyi Akonde, who through him got into the college some of the principal officers that we needed as at that time. And we have a person like the former provost, Professor Isaac Yinka Oyewole, and that's at that time too, through the council chairman then, Mr. Niyi Akonde, a bossa was brought in again. As at that time, he was Mr. by title, Rashid Olariwaju Oyedeji. And then the work continued with other principal officers as at then. And we discovered that the council chairman, that time that I've mentioned, with the bossa and the provost, had different mission that was not clear to the college.
When you say we discover, who are you referring to?
The staff of the college.
Okay.
It was so open to all the staff of the college.
Which year was this?
That was year 2016,
okay,
all through 2017, 18, 2019.
Okay.
And so we discover, when I say we, I mean the entire staff of the college, very obvious, very open.
Were you the PRO then?
I was not the PRO then. But part of the team.
All right, please.
Yes, sir. And everything was so open to us. And so the system continued like that until a lot of ulabalus came up, like the chairman, because of his...
when you say chairman of the council, you mean the governing council?
The governing council then.
Okay.
Council chairman then, Mr. Niyi Akonde. We used to call him a man of authority because of his connection. And so at the time, they said that we will not have admission to the college. Why? That one was not satisfactorily answered. And a lot of rumors were going on that time that the college is in the plan of being privatized by the power that be. And so all the staff, the 3 unions, said, no, this will not work. Actually, there was a time of protest onto all this. Along the line, let me explain better. The protest went as much as to House of Assembly then, to the APC Secretariat, and then, you know, we were calmed down, and they said that the staff should go and let things go on normally. And we later discovered that power was invested by the council chairman on the then bossa, which now Dr. Rashid Olariwaju Oyedeji.
Okay.
So he's the one that was in charge of the college. He controls the principal officers. Very obvious.
Sorry, so that we get it clear, and then we move very quickly. You said Mr. Niyi Akondo was the council chairman then.
That time.
With other persons had other plans. How do you mean other plans for the institution?
Yes, like you rightly started, that an institution, College of Education Orangun, that knowledge should be impacted, producing students that will become future teachers. You discover that for admission not to take place for a particular year, is a disaster. It's a deterioration. It's an insult on academic policy. So that is part of it. And so having a mission that it is not in line either with the college edit or the policy of education. So when we have to speak against it.
Yeah.
And so the bossa came into authority.
Sorry, what happened then? Does it have anything to do with what is going on now?
Yes.
So that we quickly
very well. Yes,
because we have a long way to go.
Okay, it has a lot of things, a lot. And so, like I said earlier, that power that was invested by the council chairman that time on the bossa made the bossa to not be in charge. So whatsoever he wanted is what the other principal officers, including the provost, would do.
Yeah.
And so the same bossa was still on seat when the exit and the tenure of Professor Isaac Nyenka Oyewole came.
Okay.
And so another man came. That was Professor Jimoh Atanda Afolabi. And that's the presently suspended provost. And so the bossa, because of his power, we all welcome the provost, but we still discover.
You are inferring then that the bossa at the time, who is still the bossa now, right, was so powerful, even more than the provost then?
Very well, very obvious to all staff and students. And so the same bossa who has finished his tenure now, because we are having acting bossa now, started manipulating the provost, Professor Jimoh Atanda Afolabi. And so when we discover that there are several things that should be done in the college, you will discover that the provost will not be very active. If the bossa says no, it is no. If he says yes, it is yes. And in that process too, because there was a time no council in place, and by the time the Mali government came on board, and the council is inaugurated,
this Governor Adeleke's government.
Okay. And the council is put in place.
Yeah.
We have Elder Dr. Peter Babalola as the council chairman. Later, and that was July last year. And later, all the members of the board were also constituted. And so there should be meeting. But before the other members were constituted, the council chairman, as the name has been mentioned, started calling to the college, calling for meetings.
Sorry, if I may just urge you to make it brief, because we have a long way to go.
So by the time the council chairman called the management for meeting.
Yeah.
It was obvious at the meeting to the chairman that it was this same bossa that was dominating the meeting, controlling also the provost, even with some questions were asked about the college so that the chairman can be acquainted with what is going on. The provost will say, ask the bossa.
Yeah.
It is whatever the bossa says that comes in place. Before they came up with the issue of, the college came up with the issue of accreditation that we have to do because of the NUC. And so money was released and every department, every school got what they ought to get for the execution of the accreditation.
Yeah.
I want to tell you very sincerely, there are documents that back all these things up, that we know that the chairman had nothing daring. But when these people discover that their incompetence is being kicked against, then they cook up lies against the college, the council members, as well as the council chairman in particular.
So that's the genesis
exactly
of these issues. Now, you are the PRO, you speak for the school, for the institution, not for the provost, not for the governing council.
No.
Speak
for
the college. So there have been different, but let me ask you, why did, according to you now, you said the former bossa was so powerful, why did you think he had that leverage on anybody, on every one of them?
Well,
it was just a bossa. An exalted position, by the way, but it was still,
it's not
supposed to be answerable to his provost.
No, it's not.
So what gave him that leverage? In your opinion?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Many of us keep on wondering, what could have been the backing for this so much authority acquired? All we know is that Mr. Niyi Akande, the former council chairman, like I said, gave him the backing, the authority, because up till tomorrow, we are very much aware of his connection and communication with Mr. Niyi Akande, who will tell him, don't accept that, do like this. Only God, to me, can know.
So he has backing from outside the institution, and you mentioned Mr. Niyi Akande now being his back. Now, before Professor Jimo was suspended, he was the provost of the school. But before all this back and forth, came for, what will you say his leadership style was? Was he still subservient to the
leadership style of?
The leadership style of the suspended bossa, suspended provost, yeah. Was he still subservient in a kind of way to the former bossa as well?
Yeah, yes, very well.
Okay, so when Dr. Peter Babalola came now, things were supposed to change.
Exactly.
Is that it?
That's the expectation.
The rest of the staff, the rest of the high-ranking members of the institution, what was their disposition to the emergence and the coming in of Dr. Peter Babalola?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. I want to tell you that the entire staff of the college and students are so much excited, full of joy. Why? Not because of the coming in of the council chairman, Dr. Peter Babalola, but as we begin to see his input within a month, he has turned the environment of the entire college that is like a forest into a tidy place. In fact, we have the video clips of when the accreditation team came and said, why is this place bushy like this? He said that you have to thank God that he has come, saw the bush and said everything should be clean. That's one. Two, he has also been able to get to every classroom, every office, and started adjustment that why should this one be dilapidated like this without renovation? If you get to the school now and you look at the difference between the previous years and its inception, July to now, to this place, you will see everything so much tidied, neat.
So the rest of the staff and the students, according to you, are happy
so happy.
With the chairmanship of Dr. Babalola.
In fact, jubilation always.
All right. Before I come to the comrade, but there's supposed to be separation of power, isn't it? The place of the chairman of the governing council is not the same place as the place of the provost, by the way. So what will you say to some who feel maybe Dr. Peter Babalola was usurping the powers of the provost? Do you understand? No, I'm the PRO. This question is for you.
All right.
That the place of the chairman of the governing council, Dr. Peter Babalola, according to the constitution of that school, is different. Their duties are different.
Yes.
From the, his duties is different from that of the provost.
Okay.
So one will say that maybe Dr. Peter Babalola was usurping the powers of the provost. What will you say to that? You speak for the school.
I wouldn't see
that things that are supposed to be done by the provost. Are the things being done?
I wouldn't see anything like usurpation.
Okay.
Yes, because if there were to be usurpation of power, the council will not be instructing, directing the provost for his duty to be carried out. For instance, in the short clip that we watched, you will discover that it is deductive. He was instructed to bring certain documents. It is because it was in his custody, in his office. And so it's an assignment. That is also part of his duty.
All right. We are coming
Only
there.
he refused to release it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Comrade Oyebamije, you've listened to the PRO and what we know, with what you know. Do you agree with what he has said so far? You are the representative of the staff union, right? And so, is he exactly like that? And in your own opinion, when all these things were going the way it went that time, what would you say the staff did? Or what would be the assessment of the staff to what was going on at the time and where we are right now?
Well, thank you, the moderator.
Because you are representing the staff members.
Staff union. Thank you, sir. We have been expecting what is happening now since. Because the staff union in the college, we were not so disposed to what was really going on in the college.
How many unions do we ever have?
We have
do you
three.
Have? Okay.
We have WASU, that is academic staff union, and we have senior staff union, and then we have NASU.
Which one are you representing?
The senior staff.
Okay.
So when the government appointed Peter Babalola, we were so pleased because being it's not an indigene, we have some 3 chairmen so far. They were all indigenous.
Does that affect anything? Did that affect anything?
Yes, it did. Because being they are indigene, it didn't allow them to perform. And then the principal officers in the college, most of them are indigent too.
It shouldn't have been an advantage.
So they use that one as an advantage, not...
No, I mean, the fact that they were indigent, shouldn't that have been an advantage for them to develop something that belongs to them as indigent?
They use it otherwise.
Okay.
They use it otherwise. They suppress the power of the chairman. If the chairman wants to perform very well, they just call them, the town meeting or whatever, and then they resolve it. But when Peter Babalola was appointed, there was jubilation all over. Because we knew him, and then we know the doctrine of the party. They want things to be done.
Party?
The present administration.
Yeah. When you say party, you mean the PDP?
Yeah, I mean the PDP. They like doing things the way it's supposed to be done. So
you didn't like the way APC did, yes? Does it have anything to do? Because you just went the party
route. We were not so pleased with the way they run that college.
The party?
Or the
person
former,
in power?
Let me say the former administration before the Imale come on board.
Okay. So that's your Itola's administration?
Yeah, and then even the
previous one as well. Okay.
The way they run the college, they allow the college to be run by the indigent.
Okay.
They concede it. They allow many things, infractions, to be continued. But and the staff union, we have been complaining.
Okay.
The staff welfare, nothing. They didn't consider all the staff. They just do anything. They disengage 72 staff without even any reasonable offenses. They took to the court, nothing. They go back to the governor, we reported everything. Governor said, no, please, we do something. We do something. Because of the big power that is in the
Who are you referring to?
Well, you allow me to be mentioned.
Yeah, please do.
Baba Kade.
Okay.
So Baba Kade didn't allow the previous government to do what, because by the time they want to do
these are allegations that you will be able to substantiate. You should be able to prove. Because when you make allegations against people, that means you have your facts.
It's because the Niyakade in question, the former governing councils, it is against 72. We went ahead to meet Arebesola. We complained. We want him to be removed.
Okay.
And Arebesola said, you cannot remove him. He couldn't even remove him. We are not the one appointed him. And we're supposed to know the roots of that Niyakade. So we could not even remove him.
Who is Niyakade?
The then governing council. And he's a brother to Chief Bisi Akade.
Okay.
So the former boss being referred to by the PRO is from their lineage too.
Okay.
So he used that ego. They have father at my back or whatever then to do whatever infractions. Just witch huntings, posting out, do whatever. I can refer to the former boss as all in all. He determined what is going to happen in the college.
His name, what was his name?
Dr. Yedeji, being referred to by the
Dr.
PRO.
Yedeji,
So but by the time the other Peter Bola came on board, we were happy. Okay, this is a new person and this is a neutral person. He's supposed to listen to in and out so that he'll be able to justify the sin, the glory. Then since Adebesola came on board, the staff have been even forget about picking someone. When there is a vacancies at the principal officers, they will just go, they will just bring somebody out, forgetting those people working for the progress of the college. But by the time Peter Abala came on board,
you mean protocols and processes were jumped at the time?
Totally jumped.
It was ignored.
In our edits in the college, it is not allowed to go and bring acting provost to acting principal officers outside. They're supposed to pick acting from in the next person to the but
from the people within.
From the people within. But when Adebesola came on board, he said nobody can even tell him that. We have acting who was then Dr. Badamasi, who happened to be an insider, but they remove him. They just go and bring new acting outside.
So fast forward to today now, what's the situation? From your point, as a staff member.
We have been expecting what is happening now since. Because we complain to the state government, we want an investigative panel to come and visit that college so that they will go to the root of the matter, what is going on there. So that they will justify, because there is power infractions.
All right.
All over.
Yeah. By the way, if our producers can please put that up, we saw a letter of suspension of the provost, that's Professor Jimo. And first, there was, putting him forward, for suspension. And later, we saw that letter of suspension. That's what we have on our screen. Letter of suspension written to him. That's Professor Jima Atonja Afolabi by the chairman of the governing council. You have it on your screen running right now, due to many things. And then in that clip, it was said as well. Now, the council has announced the suspension of the provost, the letter in which is on your screen. And as the governor now, that's Governor Ademola Adeleke, has ordered a probe into the crisis. Now, doesn't that mean that the status quo ante must be maintained, that everything must remain the way it is? Now, let me ask the PRO. You are an high-ranking member of that university. I want to ask, why did the deputy provost call a management meeting a few days ago?
Because he has been assigned.
First of all, did he call a management meeting?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, why?
Because
he's not. Does he have that power?
Yeah, he has.
Okay.
Yeah, because
not as acting provost.
As acting provost, but not fully. The reason is this:
is it confirmed as acting provost?
You will, according to the letter that we have seen, he was asked to hold forth. And this is the holding forth.
Okay.
And so the vacuum cannot be left. The school must run. Meeting must be called. Events must take place. The school must run. And that's why he did that. And I think the first he would do was yesterday. Yeah, he did so that
the meeting was held yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, but
So
were you part of the meeting?
I wasn't part of the meeting or on assignment.
On assignment, okay. But did you get briefing? What was it about?
Well, I was briefed by the deputy provost that is holding forth.
Okay.
And number one, this is the situation of things in the college, the letter that I received. The registrar was there too at the meeting. The acting bursar was there. So all the members of the management are supposed to be there. And so he gave them the briefing that, as all of you have heard, as you have known, the provost is suspended because of all the fractions and this. And so the school must run. So that's all he discussed. It was a brief meeting anyway.
Yeah, many allegations have been thrown up in this process. Yeah, and we like to take it one after the other as time permits us. You know, the issue of accreditation and the 35 million naira loan taken by the college. Take us through that. And one would like to ask, why was it done? Is the university insolvent? Are you in a financial crisis?
Yeah, very well. In financial crisis. Because when we talk about deterioration of the college, you talk about the deterioration of the college in every aspect. Financially, student-wise, infrastructure, and so on. So, and the accreditation must take place. And that is where another score for the council chairman and the members, that they did not let the college fail. We had the previous management that made the accreditation team not to take place. If not for God's intervention, let me put it that way, that the school was later recognized. And we have to go on to that because, like I've said, the school have been hitting financially. Embezzlement, misappropriation of funds.
So you had to go through the route of sourcing for that 35 million naira loan?
Because the school must not close.
Who called for it?
Who called for
the loan? Who sought for it?
At the meeting. At the meeting.
Headed by who?
Headed by the council chairman.
The council chairman, Dr. Peter Babalola.
Yes, the
for the purpose of the accreditation. Is that right? For the purpose of the accreditation?
For the purpose of accreditation, yeah.
So how did the accreditation go? Was it smooth? Was it what you expected?
I have to tell you that a kudos again to the council chairman and the members. For what I want to say, we can come and confirm. If you see the instruments, the materials put in place, it is the college items that we have to purchase to make sure that things are in order. And so when the accreditation team went round, I think there is a video clip to this one too that we can release. Some of the members of the accreditation team says, since they have been involved in moving around some of the tertiary institutions, the materials, the instruments that they see in our home, they have not seen it before.
Those instruments and materials you're talking about, were they just purchased? Or, you know, one want to say what happens in accreditation at times, there are some schools who goes about to borrow instruments just for the purpose of accreditation.
That's why I said it's our
those instruments purchased just, you know, for the purpose of accreditation, that Dr. Peter Babalola? Yes. Or you had it before that was hidden somewhere?
We bought it. We bought it. It became our home property. It's right there at the college.
Let me ask you, you are the PRO, you should have an idea of these. Because there are so many persons who say even the College of Education in Orangun doesn't have as much students that like they used to have before. The student population has drastically reduced. In fact, there was a time many persons were thinking maybe the school should just be closed down because it was a shadow of itself. What is the student population of our school at Orangun as at this moment?
I'm happy you are aware of such. And the question can still be thrown back to you if you will allow me. What will be the joy of anybody working in such a place where you are working? Would it be your joy for it to collapse? And that's the problem we have. The mind of many, even the previous management, was as if the college should collapse. And was it not collapsing? But thank God, it's been resuscitated within a few months. You can imagine the council chairman, that Dr. Peter Babalola has just spoken and meant it. and it has gone viral, and the documents are there, the preparation is there, that is going to sponsor 1,000 students of the college. This is an epoch making
by himself.
Yes. We have never. I joined the service of the college in 1995, so I'm not just daydreaming. I'm talking what I know. There have never been any council chairman who have done such a thing. All we have been seeing in the past is bring, let me hit.
What's the student population?
The student population for the NC,
yes,
was 100 level, 200 level, 200 level, whole subjects. I doubt if we are up to 3,000
right now.
And contrary to those days of College of Education, that we used to have 30,000 students.
30?
Yes, 30,000 students.
And you think that decline happened because of those administrations that have...
Actually, we have to be sincere.
Okay,
we have to be sincere. There are several factors.
Like what factors?
If you want to talk about national factors of different issues, but that of the management are very much part of it.
Which of the national factors are you talking about?
When we talk politically, when we talk of economy, you know, some people may say, okay, because in those days, you will see people coming from east, coming from west, coming from north to the college. So economically, some may say, okay, some parents may say, let my child goes to the near one. And I want to add also that in those days when we say we used to have high number of students, you come and see a large community. The indigenes, the non-indigenes, very happy, economy are boosted, everybody is happy, but the town is dry now.
That's why I was asking that question. How could people that are holding positions that are indigenes of the school now be alleged to still be responsible for the decline of the school that belongs to their community? Let me ask the comrade here.
Well,
so is that, you know, it sounds illogical that, you know, Yoruba will say, the indigenous will never allow their, you know, communities to decline, and even institutions belonging to their community. So what's the source of those allegations? Could that be true?
Yes, true, not but true. When Chief Nia Kadia wanted to be the chairman, governing council of that college, he single-handedly ceased the admission of the college.
Why?
Nobody can justify the reason why he did that.
Did you ask him then?
We did. That's the reason why he led to disengage the union leaders. Then they were troubling him. Why did you do that? Just single-handedly wrote JAMB to delete the name of the Associate College of Education from the JAMB list. And that is what's affected us since then. And we are unable to meet up since then.
And did you think maybe the college couldn't cope at that time? Maybe that was the reason.
Well, the reason personally best known to him, because he couldn't even justify the reason why he did that.
Yeah.
He singularly wrote JAMB. And he said that the name of the Associate College of Education was deleted. And that's what's affected us since then.
All right. Let me ask you, PRO again. Many allegations I like to, you know, from Dr. Peter Babalola. You know, he disclosed that there is a proof that Professor Jima Afolabi, you know, the suspended provost, in conjunction with the retired bursar of the institution, Dr. Rasheed Oyedeji, whose tenure lapsed on September 30, 2023, issued 320 million naira contract to an unknown contractor without the knowledge of the governing council, who are already appointed during the period. How true is that?
Very true.
Were you aware of that allegation?
Very, very true. I'm very much aware. Very much aware of the allegation.
What was the purpose of the contract?
Well, you see, I want to tell you that there are some things that when it comes to the provost and the bursar, I want to tell you very sincerely, you won't know what is going on. Because if you see the projects and you hit the blocks, it breaks.
Was it a building contract?
Yes, sir. As slim as I am, I was there myself. And people have been coming to say, because it has become, you know, people are so much aware, so you see some people going there. So, and then, you know, the council chairman have already been appointed.
Yeah, Dr. Babalola.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dr. Babalola have been appointed, and he was not aware.
Was he supposed to know?
Yes, sir.
By the laws governing the college?
Yes, because he's the council chairman. Every other members of the management is under him.
All right. There is another
he also
one.
represents the governor.
Yes, quickly. There is another one that the suspended provost turned the school to personal property. And these were allegations from the governing council, by the way, headed by Dr. Peter Babalola, that he contracted the bottled water venture to his wife, who was said to pay 1 million naira annually to the institution, while the school was still, the school owns the distribution truck, pays the driver, and services the truck at intervals. Is it also true?
Very, very true. Yeah. Well, I want to believe that if, as we are talking now, you get to the college, you will see the truck is the property of the college. You will see a lot of items they are using, the property of the college.
So why was it contracted to an individual? And in this case, the provost's wife?
We wouldn't know, because if you have power, and I have power, and he has power, I want to believe that one power passes power.
So it's a power play thing.
All right.
Okay. All right. And so I'd like to ask you that in the middle of this, the position, and this one is for the comrade, what is the position of the union in this crisis that the institution has brought upon itself right now? You said there were protests, there are things you did. Were you just cowed into doing nothing? You said you asked questions, and like you were just helpless. Was that the position?
Now or before?
Before and now.
Before, we keep on involving the government that owned the school. This thing is not in order. Infractions of different categories. We wrote. We keep on telling the government, but no, I've told you, the party then and the party leaders, they just suppress our noise then. But now, when the new government council been appointed, we represented our earlier cases, and they took it up. I said it like we have been expecting such an investigative panel of this before
to happen.
Because we want the government to go to the roots. If A at fault, let him know. If B at fault, let him know.
So as it stands this morning, you are representing the senior staff of the school, right?
The three unions.
The three unions.
Yes.
You are their representative on this program. Where do you belong? Where does the unions belong? Which part are you supporting right now?
We are supporting the government to go to the roots of the problem. So
you are with the council?
We are with the government.
With the government?
Yes.
Of course, the government, the council represents the government in your school.
Sure.
So every of the decisions being made by the council, the unions are in full support.
Yes. To get to the root of our problem there and to solve it once and for all. I keep on telling you that they have been bringing in the principal officers away since all this until this present administration came on board, appointed the acting bossa and acting librarian. Before, they would just bring them in.
From outside the college community?
From outside. The provost bossa, they will just bring them in. When we have qualified people here, they will not consider them. They will just go and bring their people in. So what is going on now? We are pleased.
All right. Let me take you on that. You have talked about, you reported to the political party then, and they did nothing about it. But now with the current party in power, it's like they are interested in the institution. So I'd like to ask you, does it really have anything to do with political undertone? Like maybe you guys were not just pleased with the APC, and is the PDP that is really supporting you in which you are pleased right now? Is it a war of political party?
No. We are not.
You said you reported to the party at that time.
We reported to the party.
I want to wonder, why reporting to the party? You could have just told the government.
We told the government then, the government in power then, but they did nothing. And we do the same thing here now.
So you have said it, that you thought maybe the administration of the former governor and the party were not interested in the school.
Of course, yes.
But you think PDP right now, under Adeleke, is interested in your school?
Because he listened to us, and he listened to our problem. So what we have been complaining on now, he just listened to it, appointed in, out. to be the acting bursar, then they will just bring somebody in.
Okay. And that's the way it is.
We want it to continue, considering those people working there
within the
system.
Community.
Yes, well, that is what
All right. Let me take the PR run because we have to run. We are pressed for time on this matter. Now, there are court cases left, right, and center, especially on this matter. And how many cases do you guys have to contend with? You know, and when is that 200 million naira probe going to commence?
Well, I'm not the court officials. So, but
you
all
speak
I
for
know,
the school. There are court cases, right?
Yeah, there are.
Okay. Like how many?
We have so far, even as at yesterday, as the college PRO, I learned that the suspended provost, Professor Jima Atonda, filed case, then
against the school,
against the college.
Okay.
And Dr. Rashid Oyedeji, the former bossa, also did. And I know the difference or the issue is that there is nothing in court per se, especially because of the break or whatsoever. And I think they have just gone for filing.
Filing?
Yeah.
Okay. So the probe we are talking about, when is it going to sit? Do you have an idea? The probing of the 200 million naira allegation of misappropriation. Do you have an idea when the sit is going to begin?
If it is the panel that is involved,
yes,
there is a panel going on now. So that one is in their charge.
Okay.
They are the one that will be executing that.
Have they started?
They have started.
Okay.
Yeah, they have started.
All right.
I launched, they also started yesterday and also invited the people concerned concerning the fake water factory. I call it fake because it has been a kind of moribund for long. And
so what's the situation of the water factory now? Is it running now? Or is it just abandoned somewhere?
Having been abandoned for years after spending several millions of naira that just flew away, they couldn't account for it. We can see bottled water, table water coming forth.
Okay. So
but
as it stands,
not yet granted.
Just to be categorical, the actions of the governing council and what they have done so far, the suspension of the former provost, the suspended provost right now, everything that has been done by the governing council, led by Dr. Peter Babalola, is in tandem with what the staff wants. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
The unions are in so sync.
Yes, it's in our edits. Whoever that is going to be on trial should be a little bit step aside so that for peer hearing.
Okay.
So
and
the council is in order.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to go. I will take that as your parting shot.
And the staff and students even are so excited. Another thing I want to add concerning this 200 million naira probe is it is just a kind of heresy, fallacy, lies. Because if you see the number of students that we say we have, how would you get such money?
Fallacy, how?
Less than 3,000 number of students. So what are you having? What is the whereby they have eaten all the investment? They can't account for it. They had almost 19 queries from the former Auditor General. They couldn't answer. So
19 queries.
Yes. None was answered.
All right.
And then what I'm saying from the 200, where will the college that have gone to borrow money get 200 million naira for you to know it's a lie against the council, against the chairman?
All right. Babatunde Samuel Ajala, the PRO for Osun College of Education in Orangun. Thank you for your take and your time today.
Thank you very much.
And of course, the comrade as well, Oyebamiji Adewale, the representative of the staff unions of the Osun College of Education in Orangun. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
As well. And all we do on this program is to have conversation that has to do with the betterment of our society, and that's what we've done. And by the way, the provost, the suspended provost, and Dr. Ideji and everybody involved that has been alleged have a right of reply, of course, to stay their own part of the story as well. And our regards to the students of your school, by the way. And these will be the size of this particular conversation right now. And when we come back, we head straight to Côte d'Ivoire. The AFCON is starting this weekend. It's going to be a very interesting one. The Super Eagles are involved. The flag of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will be hoisted right here in Abidjan. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sport journalism. Join me, Joseph ATEWEH,
And your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
on this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
We all want to do our best to win for our team. But right now, we're losing to the illegal trade in wildlife. Illegal bushmeat is on sale in our cities, risking extinction and our health. We've become a centre for ivory and pangolin smuggling, and many of our iconic species are threatened with extinction. So please report wildlife crime and say no to illegal bushmeat. And let's work together to win for Nigeria. Keep them wild, keep us safe.
Born 16th September 1923, named Harry Lee Kwan and known as Lee Kuan Yew, he was often addressed by his initials of LKY. Lee Kuan Yew was a barrister and the first Prime Minister of Singapore between 1959 and 1990. Educated at Raffles Institution from 1936 to 1940 and the Fitzwilliam House between 1947 and 1949, Lee Kuan Yew established a highly effective and anti-corrupt governance system that midwives the transformation of Singapore into a high net worth income economy within a generation. He never hid his exception to Western mode democratic ideal, which he believed had not assisted developing nations to attain good government. Before his death on 23rd March 2015, the People's Action Party, which he founded, had used his political influence to establish the United World College of Southeast Asia to expand his economic ideas among countries that constitute the Asian Tiger. Western Spring Television identifies Lee Kuan Yew as a major character in history.
All right, we head straight right now, virtually speaking, to Côte d'Ivoire, where the Nations Cup will be starting tomorrow. And of course, the host nation is Ivory Coast. Of course, they'll be trading tackles. At Group A, Ivory Coast, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, and Nigeria. Of course, that's in Group A. And then we still bring other groups to you as time permits us. Group B, Cape Verde, Egypt, Ghana, Mozambique. Group C, Cameroon, Gambia, Guinea, and Senegal. Group D, Algeria, Angola, Burkina Faso, Mauritania, and Mali, Namibia, South Africa, Tunisia makes up Group E. Group F, Congo, DR Congo, Morocco, Tanzania, and Zambia. I have Ladeji back here. Thank you for joining us again. Group A, Ivory Coast, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Nigeria. What are your thoughts about the chances of the Eagles? Knowing fully well there are no minnows again.
Of course, yes. There are no minions in the game of football, and over the years, other African countries have shown that they want to catch up with some other big guys on the continent. I think I want to say these are the chances of the Super Eagles. I just feel the guys need to go all out and play their hearts out. It's sad that we've been having series of injury worries in the team. Most recently is Sadiq Umar, who left camp yesterday, and Paul Onoachu has been called in his stead to replace him. I still have issues with the fact that the coach
Boniface as well.
Boniface left the camp earlier. Of course. These are the guys that we should be banking up, banking on going into the Nations Cup. But we are hopeful and that someone like Victor Osimhen doesn't get injured. You know, he's still put. He's currently the African best footballer, and he's our guy. And Kelechi Iheanacho is still there. You know, Alex Iwobi is still there, and Captain Ahmed Musa are all there in the camp of the Super Eagles. I just feel our guys need to go out there and do us proud and make sure, because if you look at the countries in our group, yes, Ivory Coast, a known foe, we've played them a couple of times, Equatorial Guinea and the other Guinea. And big name as well. You know, of course, yes. So they are no minions again. They also want to make a point. They want to prove that, see, we are here. We are not just here to make up the numbers.
But Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau.
Well, Femi, the only thing that
I'm not sure they should really worry.
Yes, only, you know, I said it, I think, last week. Normally, these countries should not worry us. But our current run-off in football, you are as good as your last game. The last game we played in the course of the week, a warm-up game, we lost by 2-1. So it shows that we are going to the African...
Against another Guinea.
Another Guinea.
And we have 2 Guineas now.
In the group.
Equatorial and Guinea.
Now, it shows we are going into the African Nations Cup of, African Cup of Nations with a dampened morale. You know, when you are going to a competition of this...
We drew at the qualifiers as well.
We drew. Lesotho. You know, it is funny. These are countries that... yes, there are no minions again, but... You can as well tell if Spain is playing a country like Lithuania, you can as well go and rest that Spain will beat them, irrespective of you don't want to be minions. You can just say, okay, Oyazaba will score this number of goals, Morata will score this number of goals, but Nigeria with our Victor Osimhen, with Boniface, with Sadiq Umar, these guys are playing in Europe. So what do
you think the problem is then?
Well, I think...
Because if you have to be struggling with Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, and
then what are our chances against Ivory Coast?
Ivory Coast. And that's our second game.
Femi, I think the problem starts with the NFF. Motivation. Now, motivation is not necessarily only about the money. This time around, your body language to these guys, you know, a couple of times we've seen these guys played. And the allowances we are not being paid, irrespective of the fact that they earn so much in Europe. The fact that you call them to come and play for years, they are representing the badge. But also, whatever is their remuneration, give to them. They also have people that they pay. They have people that depend on them. But you hold on to their money. You don't give them as and when this guy gets injured. You care less. You only invite them the next time you need them.
So
it affects their morals. And also, Femi, I have issues with our coach. Pesero is not a coach of Super Eagles standard. I can say it anywhere. This man was sacked. Go and check his profile. Are we taking a coach that was sacked by Venezuela?
Coaches are sacked and hired.
Coaches are sacked and hired. Jose Mourinho was sacked and hired. But anywhere he goes to, he proves a point. That's the difference. Pesero has not proven the point anywhere he has been to. There are coaches that goes to somewhere and they tell you, I'm done here, I want to leave. But every of the last 5 jobs he did, he was sacked because of poor results. And that's the coach we went for. We have local coaches that won't pay as much as we pay these guys. And, you know, we call for their heads. We want them to go. And, you know, funny thing, as a roundup on this, NFF will give them, just go to the Nations Cup, get to the semi-final, get to the quarterfinals. A team of Super Eagles caliber. Our aim every time we go for African football is to go there, go and win for us.
And win the gold right now. The last time we did that was in 2013.
2013, 11 years ago.
11 years ago. Maybe we might want to do that again now. We hope they do. Now, the Eagles left. You can see the picture on Wednesday. They left in that very beautiful Nigerian attire, by the way. Many persons have been talking about the attire. Like, it looks sweet and nice, representing the colors of the nation, the white garment with green embroidery. All the guys looking so sweet there, but that's fine, by the way. But looking at the departments, starting with the goalkeeping, and that's the worry for many Nigerians, to say it appears like we are stuck, according to what Pesero has done with Francis Uzo. What will be your assessment of the goalkeeping department? We have Ojo Olorunleke of Enyimba as well, but your guys are good as mine. It won't be the number one.
It won't be number two either. He's number 3 choice goalkeeper. It is
the only home-based player.
He's the only home-based player in this team. We have Shikiru Alimi of Remo Stars, the highest goal scorer so far in the MPFL this season. He doesn't deem it fit to invite this guy to the African.
He has made it known. He doesn't rate the local.
These are the issues.
Same thing the former coach said.
These are the issues. You don't go and hire a coach. Femi, bulk of the players that South Africa has taken to the African Cup of Nations plays in the South African League.
But one will say they have not been winning anything too.
Irrespective, Algeria had to look inward. You remember there was a time Egypt dominated the African Cup of Nations trophy.
Yeah.
They played with the likes of Abu Trika, all these guys. It was only Mohamed Mido that plays for Middlesbrough in England
at the time. Yeah.
Their goalkeeper that won the cup for them a couple of times played in the Egyptian league.
El Hadari. Yeah.
El Hadari. But we have coaches that tell you they don't believe it. These are guys. Sunday Umba that won the African Cup of Nations for us in 2013. Where did he play?
Yeah.
It was in the NPFL. You don't believe in them. We have the goalkeeper, I can't remember his name now, the goalkeeper of Sporting Lagos. This guy has kept close to 10 clean sheets. We have the goalkeeper of Remo Stars now. He has kept 10 clean sheets so far this season in the MPFL.
But what was they have the exposure?
Femi, how does the exposure come?
Because it counts.
Femi, how does the exposure come? Ronaldo de Lima of Brazil was taken to a particular World Cup just to watch, see how things are being done. The following World Cup became 1994. He became wonder.
He sat on the bench. And in 1998, he did.
Do you get? But you don't believe in these guys, even to take them there to gain the exposure. Then when do you want them to gain the exposure? The last best goalkeeper Nigeria had, for me, and for any women in Nigeria, would be Vincent Eyama. Eyama played a couple of years with Enyimba in Aba.
Yes.
Before he moved, he went to Bolton Wanderers in England for trials. He didn't make it. He went to Maccabi Tel Aviv in Israel before he became. And you see what he did for us.
From there, went to Lille. Yeah.
He became one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. That Eyama was rated between 1 to number 10 that year in Europe.
How many persons believe that's the best goalkeeper we've had?
Of course, yes.
In the last 20 decade or thereabout.
In the last 20 years, that's our best goalkeeper. But you don't believe in them because they play in the local league. I think it's even an indictment on the NFA.
Yeah.
It is an indictment. There are some of these guys at the home base that are ready to play their heart out.
Okay.
So the goalkeeping department, as it worries you, it worries me too, because Francis Uzo looks jittery. There are games. Remember, I think it was 2006 Euros that Portugal won. At times they just score 1 goal and they are off. It was Greece.
Yeah. Greece, yeah.
You score 1 goal, you are off. You score 1 goal.
One goal.
Your team score 1 goal. For you to defend, you became an onana on the between the sticks, and it becomes an issue for you.
Talking about Vincent Eyama, he was with Enyimba, and we had an Austin Ejide who was with Enyimba as well.
Dele Ayenuba, all those guys.
Yes, and they made their way to the Super Eagles as well.
To the Super Eagles, you have to believe in these guys.
From the days of the Peter Rufai to Ikesho Romo to Vincent Eyama, now we are stuck with an
Uzo that doesn't believe in himself.
I think he did, because he was throwing tantrums on Twitter at the time when people were abusing him, and he said, if he is, he do it.
Now, so the issue, it is because virtually, if someone like Boniface,
there is a way in South Africa as well.
If someone like Boniface, catches cruise on Twitter, I won't blame him, because he knows his onions.
And he's doing well.
Victor Osimhen also scores goals every weekend. But you are a goalkeeper that allow goals to come in.
Does he allow goals to come in?
He allows because
the goals found their way past. All right, you know, looking at the favorite now, Ivory Coast, Ghana is there, Egypt, Cameroon, Senegal is there as well, Algeria, South Africa, Tunisia, Morocco, you know, as a team, and Zambia as well. You know, if you had to put your money on any 3 teams, which teams would that be?
3 teams. Number 1, I'll put my money on Senegal.
You're not even starting with Nigeria.
For Femi, see, leave patriotism aside. Like no, I mentioned, I will support the Super Eagles wholeheartedly.
As a Nigerian?
As a Nigerian.
Okay, you're 3 teams.
But I won't give myself heart attack. Okay. Whatever happens, it happens.
You should not even give yourself heart attack for any reason.
No.
By the way.
No, gone are the days. There was a day I could remember very well. I was watching the Super Eagles and John Utaka, you know, missed the penalty or something. I fell from the chair. My dad was like, "You better don't kill yourself. These guys get their money, you know." Yeah. John Utaka, their days. So, but those days are gone, you know. If we are struggling against Lesotho, I won't go to the Nations Cup and tell you we are going to win it. Yeah. Say we should not deceive ourselves.
Your 3
Senegal
teams.
number 1. Okay. Algeria number 2. Then maybe Ivory Coast. No. Morocco is not there for me. It's not there for me.
They did well at the last World Cup.
They did well at the last World Cup.
And they are still keeping the bulk of their team.
Is it Morocco or Algeria? Yes, of course, I can put Morocco in number 4, but I feel the countries that over the years have proven. You remember before the last one that Senegal won, they got to the finals, they lost. They came back the following year. All out, they played. Inspired by, you know, the former Bayern Munich man, the former Liverpool Bayern Munich man, who now plays for Al-Azhar, Sadio Mane, you know, led them and they were able to win that one. Well. Cote d'Ivoire also, they have the guys. Ghana,
and they are the home team.
They are the home team, but well, just like it happened to Cameroon, maybe they can get far in the competition, but I don't really see them winning it.
All right, Did is not seeing the home team doing well. Ivory Coast for that matter.
I don't see
but then gone are the days of Didier
Drogba, Yaya Touré, Kolo Touré, Emmanuel Eboué,
and the rest of them. that golden generation.
Yeah.
At least they won something.
Of course,
by the way. That's it. So we hope the Super Eagles as well will do the best that they can to fly. Many persons have said Nigerian guys are going with fine boys. Either way, is it a modeling thing? Or, you know,
no, other countries are coming with their handsome guys too. It's not a crime for our guys to look nice. And
no, it's not their fault.
I must also commend
it's a compliment on them.
I must also commend the outfit. You know, it shows. You know, I've seen a lot of people bash the Ghanaian guys because they wore their.
That's the attire.
I call that colonialist mentality.
Because they were not appearing in suits.
In suits. Must they appear in suits?
Yeah.
They are wearing their traditional attire and you are abusing them.
All right.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
Okay.
So kudos to whoever did that attire, but no kudos to them because they cannot even attach a cufflinks for most of them.
Must you see that as well? All right. You know, we made effort to speak with our correspondent right here in Côte d'Ivoire, that's Joseph Atera. But in the coming days, hopefully by next week, maybe when the coast is clearer now, you know, he's right there in Abidjan. And, you know, we wish him all the best. We'll be having, you know, daily update of what is going on. And the Nigeria will be playing on Sunday as well. So go Eagles, go. Even when Lajeji is not that hopeful, we are here for you. And want to tell you, don't grieve for anybody for that, please. You know, I hope Adejobi is not here. I will tell him I'm only going by what the Nigerian army is saying on this matter. Thank you, Ladeji.
It's always a pleasure, and I wish the Super Eagles all the best.
All the best, of course. An injury-free competition as well. And when you talk about sport, you talk about sportsmanship behavior. You know, let's just have a good time. Fight for your nation, but then unity is very key. The whole squad will return on Monday, God willing, as well. Enjoy the best of your weekend. FEMI Ojo is my name. You can have a recap of this program on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. Of course, you can follow us on our social media platforms on X, on Facebook, and on Instagram as well, all at Western Spring Television. Once again, I am FEMI Ojo. God bless Nigeria, and please do the best you can to be helpful to somebody. And finally, if you're having a difficulty, if you are depressed or you are not feeling good about yourself, please speak to somebody. It's very important. Bye-bye.